see, and it's currently in, and anyone that's in the city, I'd encourage you to take a walk into the flagship branch, which is 240 Queen Street. That's a flagship branch for Australia. There's new technology in that branch which you won't see in some of the other branches, and one of them is, it's just an ATM that dispenses some foreign currency, which is not that groundbreaking really, but they've also got intelligent deposit machines coming in, which some ATMs have the capacity now where you can do a deposit, you can slip some cash into an envelope and pop it in, and what happens there is the staff come along and we remove those and process them manually at the end of the day or during the day. What will happen is we've got some machines being trialled at the moment which are very similar to the machines that you put notes into, vending machines or car park machines, where it'll read the note and it'll know what note it is. So you'll pop your $100 or your $500 or whatever it is into the machine with your deposit, and in real time that money will go straight into your account without anyone having to touch it. So there will be a little bit of that as well. There'll be more technology in branches if people want to use it, so it'll be dictated by what people want. People do love the coin machines that we have. Some branches have, Paddington's one, University of Queensland, King George Square I know has one, Flagship would have one, where you can take a bucket of coin and you can tip it into the machine, it'll print you out a little docket and you take it up to the teller. Self-service type of stuff. So once again, it'll be dictated by, I think, how many people like to use the different technologies that are going to come in, and I think that'll probably dictate a lot of the direction, but it's definitely moving towards more things happening in real time in terms of transacting, but also more things being able to be, you're in control of what's happening, so you don't have to go into the bank to transfer money to your friends, to pay your bills, and a whole range of things that we looked at with the mobile phones. That's probably about all I had, so if there are some questions, Paul and I'll try and field some of those around security, or if anyone's got any queries or had something happen and they want to ask about it. Yeah.
Have we got any questions for Michael? Oh, Erica.
When organisations like Guide Dogs for the Blind ring up and ask for donation, do you think it's a bad idea to give them details over the phone? Because they even ask for the security number on the back of the card. Can they use that information and put other things on your card if they're dishonest?
Yes, certainly. If you've signed up to be a merchant with Visa and Mastercard, and you're in the business of doing business that way, once you have those details, and it's being done verbally, it's not something you're putting into a system. Yes, there is opportunity for somebody to do something with those details. I guess the bank says to its customers, look, we really need you to keep an eye. Now, the bank is keeping an eye on what's happening with your account, and there's some software there, but it's not going to pick up something like that possibly, and that's where we ask people to actually just keep an eye on what's happening with their accounts. Now, the way that we have gone for those people that are online, you're probably able to see what's happening within a couple of minutes only each day. You can see what's happened on your account very easily. So, the bank guarantees your funds in a lot of different ways, say for the internet banking, but also with the credit cards. If something does happen, it's only if you were to see it and not report it that the bank would even quit. That there would even be a query around you getting your money back. So yes, as this extra convenience that has come with the way that things have changed, it has opened up a lot of that sort of stuff, and it does. We spend a bit of time sorting things like that out. You've also got innocent mistakes where people will actually pay for something twice, or something's not paid for, and things like that. So it's a bit of a price that we pay for that convenience, I guess.
Graham, I'd like to tell you that I worked for the Commonwealth Bank for a while. It was an early experience in King George Square. I finished my high school. I had a Commonwealth scholarship and I just wanted to defer it for a while, so I thought I'd get a job. And I caught the bus into town and it stopped at King George Square, and I walked across to the King George Square branch and said, how about a job? And they were kind enough to give me a job. I was working there next week. But things really change a lot faster than I think you guys think it would happen, actually, because I was a teller there for a while. I worked there for a year. This was before computers. And the first thing the tellers had was a cash box and a gun. Underneath the cash was a 38 Smith & Wesson gun, 3-inch barrel on it, accurate to about 50 feet. The bullet will travel about 2 miles. If you ever discharge the gun in the bank, it'd probably kill everyone except the bank robber. It would ricochet off the hard walls. And it was a tough time, actually. We used to spend all our time calculating interest by hand. Before, no one had calculators either. So it was a tough time. You could see the changes coming through, and I think none of the people I worked with in the bank actually saw those changes coming through. They always thought that the banking will continue, there'll be folding money. Never had any excitement with bank robbers even in those days. It was a bit of a Wild West, never got a chance to shoot anybody, nothing like that. But it's interesting times. I really think we're moving towards a cashless society in a very quick way. Graham.
No, not really. I've got this sort of phobia about internet and electronic banking, and the fear is that somebody is going to manage to introduce a malicious worm or virus that completely obliterates my banking record. I'm just wondering, is there something to prevent that happening, or for me to recoup my funds from the bank if you have no longer got a record there? Or should I be copying or printing out hard copies of my statements and keeping them against that possibility?
Gentlemen, Paul.
Yeah, I suppose there's a couple of things. They do back up records, so they can always get that sort of information for people, even though people have got paper now. If they lose it, we can get it. So the banks do have that sort of facility to keep backing up all the time. They probably do it quite a number of times a day. So they keep those records obviously off-site, or a couple of different places, I believe. So there's those backup systems. I mean, I think last time I read, I think the Commonwealth is the 12th safest bank in the world. I think it's the 6th biggest bank in the world now. And I think there is an aspect, I'm not trying to sort of play a trauma, but I think that I know that guarantees with electronic bank do vary between organisations. So I think you need to look into that. And I'm not trying to, I think most Australian banks are pretty good, but I think you always need to read the PDS and see the terms and conditions, because some of the stuff that we've sort of said is not a guarantee for all financial institutions. So some, they expect you to take more responsibility in that process of software or how you do your banking. So if you're, I imagine, a bit careless with your security, you may not get your money back. So you need to be aware of that, and you need, whoever you're banking with, you need to make sure that what guarantees are in place, because not everyone guarantees all things. Does that make sense? Yeah.